What's up, guys? We got Smallville, Season 9, Episode 8, Idol. Okay, so start. This episode starts off with Lois go having dreams about seeing a naked Clark and sleeping with him, and and yeah. So yeah. So so yeah. So anyway, then so then Then, as they're talking, a guy comes in and says, "Hey, Lois, there's a present for you." And and, Lois is like, "Hey," like she was a kid, she always used to unwrap her Christmas presents and then rewrap them. So, but when she unwraps this present, she discovers guys all in sugar saying that they're cops and that they're undercover cops and they were in a bust. So yeah. So anyway. Yeah. So Lois is like, Clark, you deal with this. I gotta go deal with something. And that something is therapy. And Lois' therapist is like, hey Lois, your whole thing about having like sleeping with some guy, you're Clark and all that stuff. So anyway, after that, we see the Wonder Twins, played by Zana and Jaina. That's who their names. They're the Wonder Twins, and he has the power of ice, she has the power of shapeshifting, and you know it. And because so, she he has the power to turn into any liquid, and she has the power to turn into shapeshifting. So anyway, yeah. So they decided to mark the board's name, and people kind of are like, hey, why would the board go and do this, and why would the board go? Why is the board trying to mock his territory? And Clark is, who the board is trying to say, that this isn't the blur style, and Lois is like, why are you trying to like defend the blur? Because and Clark's like, because I don't think this is the style, and even Lee Sachs, that's his name, Lee Sachs, and Lois even calls him a saxophone. Lee Sachs is trying to, discredit the blur, and he's like, hey, Clark like used the Jane and Xander about to use their powers when Clark busts in as the blur and sends them to Chloe, and they're like, oh, this is the blur's lair, and Jane's like, he doesn't have a lair, Zan, and yeah, and that's when Chloe comes in, and she's like, hey, it's the blur's sidekick, and he's like, she doesn't have the blur. Blur doesn't have a sidekick, and she's like, I've been where you two are. You want to help the blur out and be his fans. You fanning over the blur, but yeah. So anyway, so Zan and Jana accidentally Clark is talking to Lois as the blur, and Lois just isn't having any of it. How Blur could just leave her, and Clark's like sorry and everything, and that's when Zan accidentally pressed a button which disconnects the distorting voice thing, and he's like, I'll always be there, I'll always protect you, and she's like, Smallville, and yeah, and that basically gets Lois to a, oh, the Blur and Clark are the same person thing, and yeah, so then that gets her to think that the boy and Clark, same person. So she goes her, so she goes to the therapist and she's like, well, you think that she kind of gets this other patient by saying that her parents will doesn't like it or something, or, but she's like, hey, but the therapist is like, look, you really maybe you think Clark and the boy are the same person because you're delusional about your wrongness of Clark. Yeah. So anyway, yeah. So Lois goes up to the podium and says, "Hey, she knows the boy, and she knows that the boy will always have her back." So basically, that gives Lee Sachs to say, "Hey, you said you knew the boy, so I'm gonna make the boy connected to. I'm gonna make the people think that the boy murdered Lois." So she's like, why do you think the blur? Why do you think people believe you? Because you just said you know the blur. And basically, that's when he kidnaps her, and she's about to. And she doesn't kidnap her. He just leaves her hanging on the ledge of the flagpole of the Daily Planet, and that's when Clark shows up. But that's when either that's when Zan that's when Dana or Clark save her, and basically Clark's like Clark's there while she's talking to Blair, but it's later revealed that it was Chloe. Just she was able to make the Blur get off of his scent get off Clark's scent because when Lois is like a bloodhound, is when a bloodhound Lois gets to your door, you can't shut the door to get her out of your way. So basically, Chloe can do Clark solid by making Chloe now say, hey, Clark and the Blur are not the same person. So anyway, yeah. So anyway, yeah. Then so yeah. Then at the end, Lois and Clark puts on like glasses, and he and Lois kiss, but then Lois starts having the traumatic dreams about Zod taking over the Earth and Clark being powered under the red sun and Chloe dying and yeah and she goes like and she falls unconscious with Clark holding her head, ending the episode. Okay, so I really thought this episode was really good. Clark did give us speech to Xana and Jan. They did attack that Lee Sachs guy. Zan and Jan did. Actually, Jan attacked him. They took him out or something. He's probably in prison. So anyway, that kind of wraps up this episode of Smallville. I hope to see you guys in the next one. And remember, Smallville will always be. See you guys.